Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with my third layout for this 9th round of my homemade kit series. So here what I have is I have these two photos of my oldest son Jonas putting on his braces one morning. And I just really love these photos. He was, let's see, I think he was about 4. And I was, trying to get him into the mode of doing things more for himself. So he has worn braces since he was about, oh goodness, I don't even remember, a year old. Maybe he was a year and a half. I think he might have been a year and a half when he got his first set of braces. And it's an everyday thing. He wakes up in the morning, he puts his braces on, he goes to bed, or he takes them off before he goes to bed. So I knew that this was going to be a part of his life. And so I wanted him to be able to become more independent. So on this day, I thought it would be cool to take photos of him putting on his own braces. So that's what these pictures are documenting, is the story about how amazing my son is. I mean, we all think that about our kids, right? And the thing that is just so awesome about Jonas is that he never complains. He has never once complained about having to wear braces every single day. And some days they give him pain, and he never complains. In fact, most days, if he does have pain, he doesn't tell me. And it does kind of make me feel bad, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, how did I get blessed with such an amazing kid? Anyway, sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent. Here you can see I'm pulling out some of the embellishments that I put into the kit. And right now I have the two images next to each other filling the whole middle of the layout. And I am just not really liking that. So I'm thinking I'm going to add this wood grain paper, but I just don't really, I don't know. I couldn't get it to look right in my mind. So I'm going to cut down this photo and I'm going to make them their own mats. And then I'm going to stagger them in the middle of the layout. And here I'm thinking maybe I should add this wood grain behind it as another mat. But I just really didn't like that idea. I did, but I didn't. Also, the other thing is I absolutely love this wood grain paper and I wanted to use it on a different layout. And I had an idea for that layout, so I didn't want to give up on that idea. So here I'm thinking maybe I could, cut a little bit off and still be able to use it for a background. And so I'm just going to kind of fuss and play here for a bit. I pulled out some scraps from the kit. And here, I had accidentally left the sequins open. These are my Spiegelmom scrap sequins, and I spilled them in my little tray. Thankfully, they spilled in the tray, so it was pretty easy to pick them up. So here I'm still just trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. And I unfortunately don't record this whole layout. I don't know what happened. I must have stopped recording halfway through the layout and I didn't start recording again when I came back and picked it back up. I did this layout I think it was this past Friday night, and I did like 5 layouts in a row. I had coffee before I started working, and I got to work at 9 and I went to bed at 2, and it was like, whoa, I actually got a ton of layouts done. So I was kind of proud of myself. So here you can see I'm pulling out some of these labels, and then there's this washi tape that I was like, maybe I'll use the washi tape, but I didn't like it quite as much. And I finally decide I don't want to use that wood grain background. So here I'm just going to use the striped paper. It's white and yellow striped, and it is from Oh Happy Day, Amy Tangerine's collection. So here I am just placing things on the layout and moving them around and trying to make sure that things look good. Oops, sorry about that. So now here I'm using my Close to My Heart Slate Gray ink, and I'm going to ink the edges on all of the labels and the photos and everything that I'm going to be using. Okay, so let's see, I'm just gluing things down here. And pretty much that's what I'm doing. There's not really much to talk about right now. I did have these cute little banner crepe paper things that I'm going to glue down right underneath the photo there, and then I'm going to put that little shield on top of it, and that says enjoy the ride, or no, enjoy the journey. Okay, so I do a lot of fussing around, and just, yeah, this layout was fun to make. It was a little bit different. Normally I like to do a little bit more layers behind the photos and stuff, and this one I decided to just use the one layer behind it. Okay, so now here I'm going to use that washi tape, and I'm going to put it up here in that corner. It just looked weird how that acetate was just hanging out there. So I'm going to put it up there at the top. I'm also going to put some down here at the bottom, and I'm going to put it on both the right and the left side. And I'm going to decide to do the same thing up there at the top. And I really like how that looks. It kind of draws your eyes into the photos and just keeps your eye on the layout. Okay, so I think, let's see, I think I'm almost done here, probably just a few more minutes. I'm going to use these, they're kind of a teal enamel dot. I'm not sure who I got those from, so I apologize about that, but I think they came in a kit. Okay, so now, I'm not sure what I was doing just then, but here I'm going to add some more of these enamel dots. I am going to grab my, let's see, what else do I do on this? Oh, I'm going to use some of these buttons. No, actually I don't use those buttons. Never mind, sorry. I was going to try to use the buttons, but I don't. I'm going to do my title, and for the title, I really liked that stamp that I had kind of been playing around with earlier, and it's off to the left-hand side, on the top left-hand side right now. It says, "The sky's the limit," and I'm just going to pull out my Stays On ink, and I'm going to ink that word or that phrase up, and that is going to be my title. I'm also going to use some other pieces of the stamp set. There is a sun, so I'm going to stamp the sun in a few different places on the layout, and I think that's it. So here you can see I'm pulling out that stamp, and I'm going to stamp that up. I am going to use some spray mist, and I believe I just used the Heidi Swap tinsel, but I don't think that I record that part. So here I'm just going to stamp this, and I think the video is going to end. So again, I apologize that I didn't record all of it. Oh, and it looks like I didn't use my Stays On. I used my Heidi Swap black ink. And I'm just going to stamp that down. And I will have some some close-up photos at the end of this layout so you can see the final piece that I ended up with. Make sure that you head on over to the other ladies' videos and check out what they made with their kits this week. I think next week is our last week for this month, and then we will have a little mini kit for the month of December. We're only going to do 2 layouts just because December is crazy, and with Christmas and everything, we're all going to be just busy, busy, busy. So we will be back in December. We'll be back next week, but then we will also be back in December, and looking forward to scrapbooking some non-Christmassy layouts with that other kit. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I hope that you have a great day. I will see you next week. Oh, I did forget that I had done this. I decided to use the stencil and to spray some of this snowstorm spray. It is from Shimmer's Paints. You can't really see it. You can actually see it pretty well there in the video. That's kind of funny because you can't really see it very well on the layout, but that's okay. It's just a fun little experiment that I thought I would try. So I just do that a little bit, and then that's going to be the end. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have a great day. Bye.